been watching some videos about promoted by some Muslims. Some of them are actually not made by Muslims. They're made by people from organisations that disagree with historic Christianity. In fact, who would claim that they were true Christianity, such as the Unitarians, etc. And another one where called Who Wrote the Bible, where this guy comes up and apparently he's a theologian, which says it means he studies religion, etc. And he says that he's a Christian and stuff, but he comes to some conclusions that I disagree with anyway. Anyway, it's not so much whether it's dead right or wrong to do these sort of things, but what really ticks me about some of these guys who are doing it is then they don't give any opportunity. Some of them don't give any opportunity to give responses. I mean, some of them they won't allow video responses, or if you do make a video response, they will not permit it on their channel. And if and some of them won't even allow textual responses. They'll edit out anyone who, unless you actually make a comment which actually agrees with them, they won't permit it on the site. And I mean, you know, everyone has to do it, of course, but there are some people's claims, people putting videos on which the claims are so contestable and so direct against someone else's opinion. In all fairness, it is, if you can make some effort, at least to allow some kind of response in order to promote debate, that will be, you know, that would be most generous, and I think most fair. I know, listening to Dr. Walter Martin on one of his conferences, he stands up at the end of it and he says, you know, I always allow question and answers. I do not allow people to preach. He says, if you want to preach, you go in your own congregation and preach, but you can ask questions, because it's only fair that if you're going to slate someone's belief in an organisation, that representatives from that organisation be allowed to ask questions. And I think that's a very good model to go by. So to actually, when you have a claim that it's going to be get people hot under the collar, even if you're just going to ask people not to say anything offensive and to edit out people's offensive words, etc. At least to acknowledge the argument that, or attempt to sort of defend someone's position after you've just slated off their beliefs, I think is the good Christian thing to do. I think it's the good moral thing to do. Even if you're a Muslim, I've personally, I don't hold that every single Muslim would agree that people of non-Islamic faith would be should be allowed to defend their position. I think there's some hardline Christians or people professing to be Christians who hold the same view. but I do not think it's right that you should come out and say something that's quite damning of an organisation or of a person without giving that person the opportunity to respond, or representatives of that organisation to respond in some way. Because I think, there's I don't agree with heckling, I don't agree with persecution and stuff, but I do personally welcome dialogue, constructive dialogue. And I've watched some videos, and I think the thing that really got me today, can I just say, wasn't just an Islamic promoted video, which, like I said, showed the theologian guy talking about biblical perspectives, which I disagreed with, but it was a Christian video, and the guy came out with some calculations and stuff, and put some things together indicating that the Roman Catholic Church was the Antichrist. And in spite of my views on the dogma of Rome, I disagree that the Roman Catholic Church is the Antichrist, for some scriptural reasons, because I think the scripture points elsewhere to what or whom the Antichrist is, or whom he will be when he is revealed, because it's how this is explained through the whole of Scripture, and there's no opportunity to respond to this. So I'm hoping that some of you guys out there might actually think a little bit when you're going to come off and slate an organisation, whether it be the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Mormons, Christians, Islam, Hinduism, whatever it might be, atheism. If you're going to say something, if you're going to bar people's opportunity to respond in any way at all, do what I do. Say why. I mean, because I don't allow my videos to be rated. I've said on several occasions why. Because I want discussion, and I don't want people to rate it because they disagree with my position, rate it badly because the video might be a good video. So if you guys could be a little bit more considerate and always make it open, that the right to reply is welcome in some way, then please say so. If you don't want people to reply directly on your video, it might be just a bit fair to people who might disagree with you to say why you're not going to allow ratings or responses, video responses or textual responses. Because I certainly would like to respond on some of these videos directly, and so that other members of the general public can see where I'm coming from or where I believe is an error. So yeah, be fair, yeah? Be fair.